Welcome everybody to episode 93 of Thrashcast. My name is Ken, and again, I'm back here with Jim, good old Jim, and Jason is returning, Mr. D, back on the pod. Talk some more Anthrax
Happy to be here.
today. And you can see his background right there. He's got Mort Drucker, great art.
Awesome. That magazine, man.
Love it.
Should have been the cover art. Should have been the cover art, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, I don't know about that, dude. I love Mort Drucker, but I don't know about that. But anyways, we'll get, like you said, we'll get to it all.
Yeah.
So, like, before we begin, so again, just here's where you can find Thrashcast at my website, horrormetalsounds.com. You can find us there. You can just go to YouTube, search Thrashcast. We come up easily, so you'll find all our videos there. You can find us on Rumble. So, voila, I'm pulled that one. Find us on Rumble. You can find us on Spotify, and you can find us on TikTok. So we're around in a number of places. So it's not, pardon me, it's not hard to find Thrashcast. So, as I mentioned, we are discussing, this is still Anthrax month right now with us. This would be the last pod for the month to deal with Anthrax. So we're going to move on to some other things. You'll see in our feed right now, we do have the Slayer's Christ Illusion up with Phil. So check that out if you want to go see something new and that's not Anthrax related. You can go back and check out the previous episode to see Spreading the Disease. We do urge you all to come back to check that out as well. We appreciate that. But today we're going back to the late 80s and we're going to State of Euphoria, which should be a really good talk, an album that I really, really like. And I'll get opinions here from both Jim and Jason today about it. So what we'll do, we'll start, again, like we did the last couple pods, 2 questions before we move into the actual origins of the album and to talk about it. So this is going to be an easy one for me anyways, and I wanted to just know, do you think this is a worthy successor to Among the Living? Now, I kind of preface this in a way that it's like Slayer. Rain and Blood is a classic. How do you follow up Rain and Blood? Well, they do South of Heaven. So I kind of compare this album to South of Heaven in some ways, just because it's a epic record that you're trying to follow up with, and can you do it successfully? I say they can, but we're going to find out what you guys think. Jason, we'll go to you first. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you made a good point there about well, I guess not their sophomore effort, but follow-ups to some classic albums. Again, Among the Living was a classic album. But I think like 88 was just kind of a stellar year for thrash. You know, we had And Justice for All, So Far So Good So What, South of Heaven, and kind of hard to top these. I think, in fact, like State of Euphoria dropped like 2 weeks after Justice. That's how close together they were.
I think so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think I like this album more than Among the Living. I know that's not the general consensus at all. But this isn't to say the songs are actually better. I think they are just as good. It's I think where it has a leg up for me is in the production.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was around this time. You think about 88, you think about Injustice for All, you think about, Testament with Practice What You Preach, though I think that was a year later. Bands started kind of removing the reverb from their production, which is the sound I kind of prefer,
Okay.
That's like the sound you get on And Justice for All is like just a total crunch, total dry, total clinical production. And I really, really, really love that production. I think it just makes it heavier. Reverb kind of creates this tail of sound that maybe like blurs the lines between some of the fast notes. And when you add reverb, it sounds really organic and like you're in a room. But I think the difference between this album and Among the Living is the production. I think it's more along the lines. It's a little crunchier, a little drier, a little heavier than Among the Living, similar to And Justice for All was over Master of Puppets or even Ride the Lightning. And I know a lot of people don't really like the production on And Justice. But I think that's why I prefer State of Euphoria over Among the Living. Again, the songs aren't any better. They're just as good. I just really, really like that scooped production sound that this album has. And it's kind of a sign of its times. So yeah, I think that's about it for me.
Okay. What about you, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an awesome album. I like it. It's one of my favorites. Probably same as Jason, but I really go back to Spreading the Disease, probably my favorite. But this would be my second favorite, or close to a tie. I really like you using the Slayer analogy because South of Heaven's my favorite Slayer album of all time. I think it's amazing. And the cover, the Judas Priest cover on it is wicked. This has a wicked cover on it, which I absolutely love, which we'll talk about. But yeah, to piggyback on what Jason says, I think the production just kept getting better. I mean, obviously Fistful was like Metallica's Kill 'Em All. It was production-wise kind of basic and a little on the rough side. Singer changeover for Spreading the Disease, which they just got more polished and a bit better. Then Among the Living came out. All the hits off of that. I mean, there was hits off of the other ones as well, but then this just kind of carried along, and this actually sold better than Among the Living. So they were on the trajectory of going up, and then obviously the next album, Persistence, just blew the doors off of everything. So, but yeah, this is like, I think it's in my top three, top two maybe. Sometimes it's top one. I love this album. I like the production on it. I like the songs on it. Some of the songs harken back to if they had this production on Among the Living, and I'll mention a few when we go through. But I think it's a great album. I love it. And, I remember I brought this up before, but on that, there's an episode on Miami Vice where the guy who helps solves the case with Crockett and Tubbs is this heavy metal punky guy. And he's in the hospital, he got shot, and they give him a bunch of albums. This is one of the albums that he kind of goes through, which is kind of a cool little fun tidbit. I remember going, there's State of Euphoria. So, you can go on, Peacock, and look at all, and you can watch all the Miami Vice episodes and find it.
Nice little Easter egg.
There you go. But yeah, awesome album.
Yeah, you know what, though? This album didn't do it. Well, I guess the critical praise for it is a bit down.
That's true.
I know, like on the U.S. Billboard 200, it peaked at number 30, which is okay. It did go gold in both Canada and the U.S., so that was a good sign. Oddly enough, the 2018 anniversary edition fared better. So when it re-entered the charts, it entered at number 22, which is pretty good, actually. So I had that edition. That's the edition I wanted to talk about today because I think it's a really solid edition album for me.
Did it sell more than Among the Living?
Yeah.
No, it did not. I think
no, it did. It did. It went gold in Canada, and it went gold in silver in UK, and 500,000 in US. I believe Among only went 500,000 in US.
Man, that's a nice.
This is like a really, really nice edition. I love this edition. It's so great. It's really good. So I have all the anniversary editions. So they did one for Spreading, Among, and State of Euphoria. They haven't done anything yet for Persistence of Time, which I hope they do because I would love to get that. I think the remastered editions are actually much better for me personally, and they always come with this second.
It sold. The only difference, it did the exact same sales in the U.S. It went gold in the U.S. It went silver in the UK, but it did go gold in Canada. Among the Living didn't. So it actually did sell better than, believe it or not, Among the Living, which I was shocked to read because I was like, wow, really? Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I guess by this point in time, late 80s, thrash is like pretty much, it's the thing for everybody, right? So.
Plus, that could include the, I would assume that probably could include the anniversary edition too.
True.
Possible.
Yeah, 2018, it's hard to... Well, I mean, Metallica re-entered the charts, though, in recent times as well, and people are buying up their records. So I guess it's only fair that some of these bands are coming back with, like, these anniversary editions and then re-entering the charts.
You know, it's interesting. I just looked it up. I didn't realize this, but it actually, those two albums outsold Persistence of Time.
Whoa. Huh.
I could see that.
That has to be a timing thing. Has to be a timing thing.
Like, Persistence only went gold in the U.S. It didn't register in Canada or anywhere else.
It
I
came out.
didn't realize that.
Did it drop in 90 or 91?
That dropped
91.
in 90, I
It was
believe.
90, yeah, late,
90.
yeah, late 90 going into, yeah, it's late summer, I think, if I remember correctly.
Right. Okay. Well, we were. I think there was a transition there, right? I was going to think, was it when grunge, when Nirvana's Nevermind dropped, because everyone took a hit then. So
Yeah, that would be
maybe.
around that time.
Yeah, it's probably what happened. It probably had a good few months until Nevermind dropped, and then shit hit the fan after that with all bands. I think,
Yeah, that makes the most sense. I could
except
see
for
that.
Metallica, but yeah.
Yeah, of course. Well, the one thing about this album that I was reading up on this because I've seen a shitload of Anthrax shows, but they don't play anything from this album, which is surprising. They only actually play a Be All End All and Antisocial.
Yeah.
And they've never played Schism live. They've never played Misery Loves Company live or 13 live, which I'm shocked because Schism, I love it, and I'm surprised they've never played it live. So it's
I saw this tour live with
so did I.
for Iron Maiden on Seventh
Yeah,
Son.
I saw this tour as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, they didn't. It's weird how they don't play. I mean, Antisocial, I
I
understand.
think that was Persistence.
Yeah,
Was it?
Persistence
Yeah.
was Iron
The
Maiden.
Seventh Son was Persistence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they also on this tour. Oh, I forget who opened for them.
Oh no, wait. Maybe you did because I saw with Seventh Son. Who did I see open? What's it? Queen.
Well,
Yeah, no, it was Anthrax.
Yeah,
not,
because, like-
not the Toronto show though, not Seventh Son.
No?
I was at the Seventh Son show.
Yeah, because they dropped around the same time, so it
It
would
did,
make sense that.
Yeah.
I think Seventh Son had a year, maybe a year, but maybe they were both 88. Can't remember.
I have to go
Or
back.
Seventh
My
Son.
memory
Yeah.
is starting to get
So
all
long
weird
ago.
and that stuff, 'cause you see so many.
I just
venues.
know I saw this tour in Toronto at
Yeah,
some point.
yeah, same here. I saw the same tour as well. I saw
And
I
you
know,
saw it,
I know
Jimmy?
what it is. It
What?
was for me. I saw the Seventh Son tour, and I think it was Guns N' Roses that opened for them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's, on Seventh Son, yeah, that was Guns N' Roses.
yeah, and then I saw Persistence of Time with No Prayer for the Dying, Iron Maiden.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
right.
that's right. That's correct, Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's correct. But yeah, it's interesting. So maybe they will play some of these songs again. I don't know why they wouldn't, but it is what
You
it
know what
is.
else is interesting? Just one
What's
other
that?
tidbit.
Yeah.
I can't believe Sound of White Noise sold more than this album.
I could because the style change. It's not really thrash.
500,000 US and went gold in Canada. Like, wow.
I saw that tour. I saw
Yeah?
that tour in Toronto, and I could see why a new singer, different attitude, different direction. Wasn't really. I guess it was kind of thrash, but the style was definitely transitioning to something else. So I could see that album selling well and that tour selling well.
Wow.
I thought it was an okay tour for me when I saw it.
Who opened for them?
Shit, I can't even remember now.
No.
I don't. I'd have to look it up on Setlist FM. But it was an alright tour. It was an alright show. As I saw it, I enjoyed it. But then, like in the mid '90s, they started playing. They played the Phoenix here in Toronto for Volume 8, and that's like real. That's a downgrade to me from
Yeah.
playing a larger venues in the city than moving to that. But it is what it is. What can you do? But okay, so we'll move on to the art question, of course, because I like to throw the art questions in here. So this is a great cover. I love the whole idea of the mental state of going from chaos to calm. I think it's great. I love the colors. The colors pop for me. It's again by Dom Brodagam. He did the interior art, and then of course the interior back art that Jason has on his background there is by Mort Drucker, Mad Magazine. So that was great that he. And this is the first introduction to the Knot Man. So we get this Knot Man in this one, which is kind of cool. And so Don is great, and I know we've talked about this before in the past, but Don has connections to both Metallica and Anthrax because he did Master of Puppets, the cover to that. But Don's actually got a pretty good resume of like album covers. Like he did Doctor Feelgood, Motley Crue, which is a kind of a surprise. AC/DC's Razor's Edge. He did Metal Church's The Dark. He did
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, he did that. He did stuff for Ace Frehley and Vicious Rumors, and then he did a whole host of book covers. So I know he's also associated with Stephen King. So he did like The Stand, Dark Half, Skeleton Crew, Night Shift. So yeah, this guy had a really good career. It's unfortunate that he passed away though in 2008 of stomach cancer, but I always liked his artwork, and I love this cover. What do you guys think, Jim?
Oh, I think Anthrax has some of the best metal covers, album art of all time, and I love this one. I think this is kind of a little bit of a cool departure from, like, you had Among the Living that was kind of dark and scary, and then you kind of reverted back to more of a kind of a darker theme with Persistence. So I think this was like, we talked about the Bermuda shorts and the Not Man and all the fun stuff and the I'm the Man and that. I think this is a great time in Anthrax history, and I think the art it reflects it. I think it's pretty cool. It's bright. It's really noticeable. I mean, everybody's got to remember that this stuff had to stand out on the record store shelves. I still, like, when I go to CDN to look at my albums, I'll pick them out before I listen to them based on really cool album covers. If I don't know the band, I'm like, oh, this has got Dead Person on it. Yeah, I'm listening to this. And I mean, that's the thing. This thing stood out like crazy. I love it. I think it's really cool. And I always thought the introduction of the Not Man was pretty neat. And I liked how they incorporated into the videos and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. I think on Antisocial, he's running around with a mat, like he's running around before the show. It's really cool, and I love that. And it was a fun time to be it's a fun time to be a fan, and I think that's just really cool. I think the album cover kind of it's bright, it's colorful, it's just it's really noticeable. I think that's it. I like it a lot. Yeah, it looks great on his shirt.
Doesn't it look like Joey Belladonna? I always think that's Joey Belladonna. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
it kind of looks like him, but I could be wrong. But I love it. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, for all the reasons Jim said, I think that Anthrax is one of the bands that kind of went against the grain of everything with their album art and kind of their the way they presented themselves, and they did that here, where most albums, like you were saying, Jim, had a dark and serious tone at the time. Like South of Heaven and Justice for All as a comparison. I think it did the band a world of wonder. I mean, if you walk a kid and walking into the record store, that bright yellow definitely stands out and it pulls you over. And I just think it sets Anthrax apart from the herd, which is kind of their kind of what they do. So I think they nailed it with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. I think it's a really strong cover.
I love the fact they gave it a good push on the new album cover. So it's that swirl at the bottom in like a pool.
Yes.
Like, that's pretty cool. They did it with all of them, but yeah.
Yeah, they tied in a lot of previous elements to the new cover.
Yeah.
But Charlie handles all this. Charlie's the guy that handles the art side of things. He's the one that normally comes up with the concepts and then works with the artist, whoever they choose to do the cover, which is kind of cool. So, but I love the cover. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. I know that much. But they don't skip out on covers. That's the one thing about Anthrax that I've always liked. Their album cover art's kind of important, and it should be. Don't be Exodus and the lamest covers on the planet that don't even make any sense.
And I think the album art, I think it also kind of ties in with some of the songs, right?
Oh, big time.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was just going to say that. Yeah, you could see that a lot of what's on this cover is definitely reflected in the lyrics, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, out of the big four, I always thought that Slayer and Anthrax were the top two when it comes to cover art. Megadeth has been pretty good. I guess they'd be up there. And Metallica's okay. So I love how these four bands were really conscious about their art, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was important how their image came across to people. Especially if you're trying to sell T-shirts and stuff like that and merch of whatever, like posters and it's important, right?
Yeah, absolutely
important. So we're going to move on to the album. I'm not going. There's no introduction because we all know this album. We all know when it came. We're all aware of it. So we'll actually dive right into a be all end all, the opening song of the song here. And Jim, we're gonna go with you with this one.
Oh, this is one of my favorite songs. I texted you the other day. I was like,
Mhm.
man, I love that intro, that sort of violin or the string intro.
Cello, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cello, okay. And then I love it how it has the fade to it at the end too. So for me, it's kind of bookend. It's perfect. And I mean, I love it that they really kind of set things up. So you're listening to this album after leaving Among the Living, and then at one, like they give you a minute, almost a minute 20 seconds, a minute 18 until Joey's vocals cut in. It's kind of a darker but really fast song, and I love how Anthrax can make a bit of a darker sound, but still keep the speed and the thrash chug going. Like I find a lot of thrash bands, or a lot of bands for that matter, kind of turn it into more of a, which I love doom metal. You guys know that, but
Mhm.
they usually take a song and then they kind of doom it up, but they don't keep the thrash kind of motif and the speed of it. These guys make it doomy, but then keep it all going into a thrash. And this is a great example of that for me. There's a couple of those on this on this album, but yeah, I love this song. There's a couple of really great tracks on it. But yeah, this is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, on the album. And I'd love for them to. Do you say they sing it live ever? Because I have never.
They've played this live a few
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Not a
Uh,
lot, but they've played the song live.
Yeah, it would be. Oh, I'd love to see this thing live. That would be wicked. But anyways, great thrash song for me.
Well, you know what's funny though? You're saying a dark song. It's not really a dark
Oh,
song
I know, but it's got
lyrically.
that vibe to it.
Yeah, no, no, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying like in contrast, lyrically, it's more of a positive because the whole
Yeah,
point of the song is about self empowerment, right? So they're writing about the whole kind of like resisting control, thinking for yourself, pushing through adversity and determination. So I mean, I it's just funny how the lyrical side of it is more on a positive note,
yeah.
but there's I guess there was a dark vibe on it to it. Jason, what do you think of it? The song itself?
Man, I fucking love the build up after the cello with the layering
Yeah,
of the down picked crunch, and then you have that floating on tops, that eerie, wavering, tension building riff, which I
yeah,
think is probably played by Danny. You know, way back when this came out, I bought the guitar tab for the book
Okay.
and or for the album, and I learned many of the songs on it as well as I could. I mean, not perfectly, obviously, but if I remember correctly, the build up after the cello section is achieved through some sort of dissonant trill or tremolo half, like picked half step. So basically, what's happening is the vibrating effect is this like super fast alteration between the two notes that are right next to each other on the fretboard, kind of like a half step or minor second interval, if you're familiar with that. And when you play the rapid trill, like hammering on and pulling off quickly with your fretting hand, or you tremolo pick that half step, the two frequencies actually clash with each other, and it's called phase beating. And what it literally is the note. It makes the note kind of sound like it's spinning, vibrating, or wavering, kind of like in midair or underwater or something like that. But it gives the riff this kind of unstable and anxious and urgent quality before that main groove comes in. And Anthrax uses this technique throughout this album
Yeah.
hmm
and other albums. It's just something that's something they're known for. It kind of gives them a bit of their characteristic to their sound, that exact method I was telling you about, and you'll often hear it in many of the songs. And a lot of thrash bands don't do that. I can't think of any that do it like Anthrax does, but that's a perfect example of the phase beating at the beginning of the song. So take a listen next time. I love the way they do that and
hmm
incorporate that into the songs. Um, yeah, I don't know. Apart from that, I think the highlight for me would be Frankie. If you listen to his fucking bass in the song,
hmm
man, it's just clangy
Yeah,
and hard. He's playing the shit out of it. I think if I were to compare the song to something else, maybe like something like Overkill meets Iron Maiden Seven Son.
hmm
There's a bit of a technicality and progressiveness to it that was new for Anthrax at the time. I don't think they really played with this on Among the Living much, or even before that. So I think this is the one song, or this album, in fact, is probably where Anthrax started becoming more progressive, if you will. And I think this song is kind of testament to that sound we would also hear on Persistence.
Do you guys think that Dan's a really good technical guitar player, eh?
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
Oh
yeah.
man, isn't he like I love the fact he's a watchmaker because to have that sort of skill, it kind of reflects the fact of I kind of go back and I think, man, this guy was so far ahead of his time as a guitar player. And I think his attention to detail, I guess, being able to build Swiss movement watches is just a testament to how he played guitar. I mean, I just think he's an amazing expert. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
good.
and
He's good.
yeah, and I think I don't know who brought the more technical, progressive kind of sound into this album, but I would guess it
That
would be
would be
Danny.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Charlie,
Charlie's the
yeah,
main. Yeah, because Charlie writes all the music and then Scott writes all the lyrics.
right.
So it basically would be between Charlie and Scott. I mean, I know Danny had a lot to say. Danny is a bit of a prima donna. That's what I later learned on in life. That's one of the reasons why he decided to leave the band. I know on that reunion that they did in the early mid 2000s.
2005.
Right, right. When he
Yeah.
came back, he was quite the prima donna on the tour. He had to have this large, major setup for his guitars with everything, and they couldn't accommodate him. So I know he was one of the. It was a main stickler point for him. That's why when the tour ended, he didn't come back to the band. He decided to go back to being a watchmaker, which is kind of funny. But I don't know. I mean, these are stories you read. I don't know the man personally, so I just know he's a hell of a guitar player. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
They haven't had a really good guitar player. They have John now.
John's great. Yeah.
Oh yeah. John's awesome. I mean, I love the Shadows Fall, so you get that now. But I was just gonna say one just to dovetail into something quick. The new song "Persistence of Memory" apparently it's an instrumental,
Oh, okay.
and it's being played on some kind of weird instrument that Scott found. So it's going to have a lot of weird noises coming out of whatever this instrument is. So I thought that was interesting, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." So they're opening the album with an instrumental. That's what
Wow.
You're talking about the new album, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. If you watch, I think you watched some of that, Jason. That interview he did with I forget the girl's name. That one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you watch the full interview, he does this. They do discuss the album, and he mentions this. I don't know what it was, some kind of instrument, something he found. It makes a lot of really weird sounds, and he basically used it to record the opening number, which apparently is what I'm hearing, an instrumental.
You know, it'd be cool
Yes.
is if he played the wooden fish. You know that hollow fish with the
Yeah.
stick, and you rub it on his back.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
amazing.
That would be amazing. I could be the fish guy. Jim Harrison plays fish.
Fish guy. Bring that fish guy in.
He does a solo. Oh, that's cool, man.
That's yeah. If you watch the interview,
Yeah.
does he does discuss at length what the songs are. That they're going to open up with a mid-tempo song. It's not even going to be a crusher. Apparently, from the first full song that follows Persistence of Memory is apparently a mid-tempo kind of crusher song. So we'll see. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm curious now to see the arrangements of the songs and how they kind of like stack up again. But
Too long to wait, man.
I
know.
know. I agree, dude. It's way too long to wait.
I
Anyway,
ordered the album already.
let's get back to this. So track number 2, Out of Sight, Out of Mind. I like the title. It's interesting. We'll start with you, Jason. What are your thoughts on this as like a second song building on the album?
I love it. I like the galloping rhythm at the beginning. I think the standout section is the pre-chorus bridge, where Danny and Scott are kind of in sync with Charlie's snare snaps, which is a really cool,
Yes.
really cool thing that they did. And Dan delivers like an absolutely blistering neoclassical kind of tinged guitar solo, very Yngwie influenced, with some really killer whammy bar flutters. He goes crazy with the whammy on there. Chorus is fantastic, really catchy.
Yeah, the chorus
Then
is
there's the
good.
breakdown. Yeah, the breakdown's heavy
Yes,
as fuck.
yeah.
And then Charlie goes
breakdown.
crazy on the double bass to take the song out. it's just a heavy song all around. I think maybe if I were to compare this to something else of its time, maybe something stood out to me, like maybe Pleasures of the, maybe more Exodus sounding than I
Okay.
would expect from Anthrax. Kind of like a Pleasures type sound to it. Yeah, I just really love it. And Joey sounds fucking awesome on the song.
Joey's great. This whole
Mhm.
album, I think, is structured great around Joey's vocals.
Yeah,
For
I
me,
agree.
anyways. I think this is out of all the Anthrax albums he's recorded, this to me is the strongest for vocals for him, because every
Mhm.
song seems to be kind of structured around his style of singing more so than you get like it's more of a melodic style singing, and it works here. Not and if you notice, there's not a lot of like high shrieks from him at all. There's a couple, but this is a very more controlled album than you would have got with Among the Living. So there's a
Well, yeah, this was his third album with them, right? So they were probably
yeah. Oh, I would think
learning
so.
as they went along, and they nailed it here. I agree with you. I
They
think
did.
they thought about him more for this
I
album.
think so.
Yeah.
Jim, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much nailed it all. It was funny, Jason. I obviously don't know near close to enough about the musicianship part of it like Jason does, but I wrote, this is my exact words. It has this really cool riff intro that breaks into this weird stalled riff. And then you brought up as soon as you said about the solo with Ingve, I'm a huge Ingve fan. I can't believe I didn't pick up on that because, yeah, you're 100% right. The catchy chorus. This is the album of really catchy choruses, but Anthrax is pretty solid with that. But I do agree, like 100%. I think this is a Joey showcase album for me. Everything's great about this album, but Joey's vocals fit good on this, even better than Among the Living, because Among the Living, there's a lot of harder choruses like NFL, nice fucking life. Doesn't really show off his chops too much. I am the law. Indians is pretty catchy, obviously, and that. But this here has this whole album is full of a ton of catchy choruses, and I agree, Ken. I think it was kind of focused around Joey's vocal ability, and I think it shows that off. And maybe that's why it did really well. People, it was a little bit more maybe accessible, maybe less more. The cover art, even though it's serious, brings in the fact that maybe the more casual fans were more. Maybe this was a lot of jumping off points for people with Anthrax. They got into Anthrax on this album. I mean, it's the perfect time, and I think maybe Joey got them with his vocals on this album for sure. And this song is wicked. I love the song. I love the fact that the first song's be all end all, and this one's out of sight, out of mind. I love kind of the
The
swing,
wordplay.
the
Yeah.
wordplay there. It's pretty cool. It keeps you really attentive with it. No, I think it's a kick-ass song.
Well, the lyrics, like the whole point to this song is that they're trying to take a shot at people who plagiarize and all the the trend chasers and all the shallow people who just steal other people's ideas and kind of call it their own. So I think it's kind of interesting that they decide to do something a bit more poignant lyrically, and it does. I think out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Great idea, because it's a title phrase, right? So they're using it sarcastically to criticize people like who ignore the truth and problems and all that stuff. So it's kind of it's a cool idea how they're using the lyric in the song. So it's solid. You can't go wrong with this. It's a really kind of like more traditional thrash song than you would have got with the old
Mhm.
This
heavy
is the.
heavy.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's just the
Yeah, no worries.
first album lyrically, Ken, where they really dived into social issues. Like,
I think so. Yeah. You're the one that were commenting on it when we were doing spreading about how you thought some of the lyrics were a little bit up and down in terms of like fantasy elements and some
Mhm.
social elements. But this album to me is really focused. Like it's all the way through. All the songs are focused. There's nothing that is really out of place. I don't think
yeah,
like lyrically. Like I'm just talking about lyrics, not music, but just from a lyrical standpoint, everything is very focused. I find, and there are a
yeah,
lot of more
yeah.
social issues. Not too many thrash bands would go in this direction. I mean, Metallica really wouldn't. Megadeth, well, I guess to some degree.
More
And Slayer,
political
forget
negative.
Slayer. They wouldn't go in that direction at all. So I find it interesting in that regards.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's funny too because I think it just shows the band is growing. We've got what is this, four
Yeah.
albums in, and and then the next album, which we've already discussed before, is so much darker and even delves into a lot more darker social issues. So yeah, I think it agrees. These guys are now. I mean, this is the heights of their career in these years. They were just flying high on this stuff. So I think it just shows the writing is just sort of a reflection of how they're growing up. I mean, they were young guys when they started out with Fistful. I still young guys here, but kids pretty much.
And I
Yeah, I
think the
call
group,
this like limitation of life part two because it's
Yeah.
basically picking back off that the lyrics of that song. Sorry,
and I
Jason. What were you
think
saying?
I was just going to say, I think the goofy only gets you so far.
Yeah,
You can't
Yes.
be goofy 100% of the time,
exactly.
especially in metal. I mean,
Yeah.
you can here and there, and Anthrax has really found a pocket for that where they're able to be goofy as fuck, but then they can give us shit like this too, which is super,
Well,
super thought provoking.
it's kind of funny because I think that this album, the songs are all great, and they're
Hmm.
not really jokey songs,
No,
but yet they get criticized for the jokey imagery. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I've got.
weird. It's just a weird kind of contrast between what's on the album and then how they get criticized by people. Oh, you're wearing Bermuda shorts, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Like like for example, like you got Mort Drucker in the background, and Mort is a typical New York artist. They grew up in New York, so it only makes sense that they're
yeah,
going to surround themselves with things that they like. I
yeah,
never
it's
understood
their
it.
culture. It's their culture.
Exactly, and I
Yeah.
never understood why people were criticizing him for it. But
I
anyways,
think
Yeah,
I think I've read a lot of people who write them off as a comic book band, and it drives me nuts
they're
because
not.
I'm like,
They
okay,
love
first of all,
comic
there's
books.
nothing wrong with comic books, but
Yeah,
secondly, that was only one tenth of their whole
yeah,
image.
one element.
yeah,
The whole
yeah.
"I'm the Man" song was just for fun, man. It's like I would have paid double the amount of my ticket to hear them play it live on this past tour because it makes me laugh, it makes me smile. I bought that
Yeah,
EP, I
yeah.
loved it. There's nothing wrong with having some fun, and I think the Bermuda shorts and that it's great. I
Why
love
are you spoiling it? No,
what?
it's the
That's all his
fourth
questions. You
question.
would hold on that to us.
No,
Hold your
no, but I
thought.
mean, I find I've read so many comments. These guys they've
Yeah, I know
only
what you're
ever
saying.
sung
Yeah, yeah.
one real mainstream comic book song called
Well, and then
"I'm the Law." Like, and
okay,
it's a wicked song.
here's something, Jim. Do you think appearing on Married with Children helped
Yeah,
or hurt them?
No, I think it helped them.
I think it helped them, but I can see that it kind of hurt them. It made them feel like Metallica, where they were kind of, well, Slayer's always been ominous, but Metallica was kind of removed. They only had the one video. These guys came on and they were friendly, fun, loving. It made me like them even more because for me, I was
Yeah,
like, these guys could show up in your bar and have a drink with you and just poke fun and have a great time. That's what it's all about. It pisses me off when I read these comments because I'm like, man, they've sung one for all the comic book. For me, he was not a big comic book guy. I love I Am the Law. I think it's not just a comic book. Well, it started as a comic book, but it's a great movie, and they tell the story. It's a great story, and who cares? Like, it's just so much fun. And then them coming out with their hats turned upside down like this, and all their stuff. It was just a lot of fun, and it was just not even a phase, I would say. They just went through it and did it. I think I'm the Man is great. I think their New York attachment to New York, you guys hit it on the head 100%. They came out and did the song with Public Enemy. Okay, you had Aerosmith come out and do a shitty version of Walk This Way with friggin' Run DMC, and great for them. But this was two solid, heavy bands. You got, like, in rap, like, these guys at the time were just so, they were so controversial, so great. And then you had these guys come out, of the big four that we know now, and they just kind of joined forces to make it. I think that's so cool, and I think the fun part of it is just one part of it. And I get it that maybe the metalheads that are gatekeepers saying, well, you can't wear Bermuda shorts and be a metalhead. Well, like, whatever. I don't think these guys jumped on. They made their own trend. I don't think they
yeah.
followed any trends.
I think also it reminds me of rap at the time where you had East Coast West Coast rivalry.
Yeah,
So we
Yes.
yeah,
had
that makes
East
sense.
Coast metal bands and West Coast metal bands. Now, if you know East Coast people, just in general, they're more sarcastic than West Coast people. West Coast people are a bit more reserved, a bit more free spirited, maybe not as sarcastic, and I think Anthrax really kind of nails the sarcasm and the jokey bit, and they just don't give a fuck. They're just going to do what they do. But then you got the people on the West Coast who adhere to this image, whether it be Bay Area thrash, there's a certain image, and they all look the same, they all sound the same, or glam, LA hair metal, same deal. So I think it's all cultural.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
Sorry for going on the rant there.
No worries. No worries. We'll get back on it now with this next song, which to me is almost like the title track. It just has that feel to it. Make me laugh. They're the whole takedown of televangelists, calling out religious hypocrisy and the greed and the whole thing. It's a great song. I love this song quite a bit. There's so much going on in it. We'll go to you, Jason. What's your thoughts on Make Me Laugh?
I really like it. I love the intro, very atmospheric.
Yeah, the intro's great, yes.
Yeah, it catches you off guard, and after the assault, catches you off guard, especially considering the song before, which was much heavier. But again, it has this kind of swirling, otherworldly sound, almost like it was recorded underwater, and it's definitely drenched. They definitely drenched the guitar signal in some sort of flanger or chorus effect, which made it sound like it was underwater. And that, I think it's a full 25 seconds of that, and then it moves into that setup of that really heavy groove. And then, I don't know, I think Joey, this is probably the first time with Anthrax where he was given an opportunity to belt out what I think, it's a bit different for him on this song, but this sort of massive stadium-sized hook to that one vocal. I don't remember where it comes in. I'm not sure if it's the chorus. I can't remember, but he sounds a bit different on this song in parts. And I really like it. It reminds me a bit of, it has the DNA a bit of like Suicidal or SOD in some parts. A bit of crossover punk
there's
here and there.
That,
yeah, and it just kind of a street smart kind of sound to it. I love the track. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I love
3 for 3.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it. Jim?
Yeah, I had that musically. It's got SOD elements, but I did that because I obviously there's a great connection there. But yeah, I agree with you 100%, Jason. And yeah, this is amazing, Ken. This is a great song, and I love it. I love bands that take a shot at TV evangelists because you guys know the way I feel about
the
that.
80s,
Yeah, I love it. It's like, but anyways, no, I think it's great. I think it's a cool song. I think Joey's got some high parts in it, which is really cool. I agree with you guys in saying he got to maybe show off a bit of his chops on this song, but the guitars in this song are amazing. And I love that intro as well. But I don't know if it's gang vocals I hear or just backing vocals.
I think it's not so much gang. It's like they recorded like simultaneously him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what they did.
I really like that effect. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's gang, but
because it sounds like it's Joey's vocals in both parts. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. I think it is. Yeah. And they also threw his laugh in there, right? He's got that kind of weird, that kind of manic laugh. Yeah. So it's great.
I love it.
It's a great song. I love the song too. I always kind of feel like, to me, it's like the title track of the album in my mind. But and I also reference it because it just make me laugh. Like it just kind of fits the theme. Yeah. This song fits the theme of this album cover, I think. But so I like it. I think it's a great song as well. You can't go wrong with this one. And Joey's one of the stars. But I also think that Charlie's like the main star of this one because he has all these drum fills, double bass drumming. Like he throws it all in there just to make that song really stand out and jump. You can't go wrong with it.
So does Charlie write everything?
Pretty much.
From a guitar perspective?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So Scott's not a songwriter then? Really?
I think Scott writes the rhythm parts, but I mean, from my understanding, the majority of the songs are always structured by Charlie.
Wow, the guy is a phenomenal songwriter.
I know. Growing up, I never knew that. Like, the drummer writes the guitar parts. You always figure that the guitarist guitarists write the guitar parts and the drummer writes the drum parts. But no. Apparently, Charlie actually plays guitar as well, so he's a very very accomplished guitar player from what I've heard.
Wow.
So I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, and Scott's pretty much the lyric guy. He's the guy who
And
writes them.
you think of some of the songs that guy's written, like Only? Jesus Christ, like that's
That's a
an
masterpiece.
unbelievable song. Like just
I know.
as far as like being able to tap into both thrash and what's going on at the moment and
Well,
just write
they
an
definitely
incredible song.
they knew, right? They definitely knew that they had to change the style.
Yeah.
So they were
Yeah.
they were one of the out of all the four thrash bands, they were the ones that knew that they needed to change their style to kind of go with the times. I mean, Metallica did it as well, but Slayer didn't really do it. Megadeth, not really. They didn't really change all that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Out of the two, like both Metallica and Anthrax, they did realize that they needed to change the sound a little bit more so Anthrax than any of the big four bands, I think. But I'm not saying it was the right thing to do, but that's how they thought at the time.
And wasn't James Hetfield has said that he loves the song Only? I think
I think he said it's one of the greatest songs ever written.
ever written. Yeah.
Yeah, he liked the song. Yeah, he gave it he really backed that song when it came out. So it's interesting.
And then Elton John said. Didn't Elton John say?
Yeah.
What did he say about? What was it?
Oh,
it wasn't about Anthrax, but it was about Metallica.
Yeah. He also endorsed them heavily as well.
Yeah, the ballad on Black Album.
Oh, no, Nothing Else Matters.
Nothing else
Yes,
matters.
I think Elton John said that was one of the greatest songs ever written.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an okay song, but we won't get into that.
Yeah.
Let's get back to track 4 because this is the one that's
Oh shit!
whether you like it or
man.
hate it, Antisocial. Jim, I'm going to go to you with this one.
Yeah.
He
What's your
hates it.
thoughts?
I can
Oh no,
tell.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, you like it? Okay, I was curious.
God. This
Okay.
is okay. So like I hate covers. Everybody knows that.
I know.
Nuts.
That's why I went to you first.
Yeah, but this year, first of all, when I was a kid, when I first got this album, I didn't know it was a cover. I didn't know who Trust was, and who cares because it's a kick-ass song. The video reeled me in because the video was such a party. I wanted
video was
to
great.
Anthrax live so bad because they were having so much fun. The fans were having so much fun. It was just a complete mess. I love it. They were running around, going
The Knot
crazy.
Man.
And the Knot Man, and I love
And
it.
guess who's underneath the Knot Man, Jim? At
Is
the
it
end,
Scott?
remember that when the mask
No.
comes off? It's Ozzy.
Oh, that's right. It's Ozzy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's so
I
great. I
forgot
love
about
that
that.
ending. Yeah, it's Ozzy when he lifts the mask up. It's Ozzy Osbourne, which is so
That's
great.
cool. And everybody complains that when they tour now, oh, they sing covers. You gotta have Got the Time. Okay, as much as I don't like Got the Time, I want to listen to it because it's such a good song to hear live. And this Antisocial, holy shit, one of the best covers for me. I mean, I love Slayer's cover of Judas Priest, Aggressor, off of Sin After Sin. Anyways, I love that cover. This cover's probably my one or my two. This is awesome. It gets you going. You hear this live when that drum kicks in at the start of it and the intro just starts up. You know it's coming. Everybody's on their feet. They just love it. I think it's great. And there's nothing wrong with having a kick-ass song like this that's a cover. I like it better than the original, but that's not really saying too much.
Well, they made this song their own, Jim.
Yeah. And
I
just
think
love
that's
it.
why I like it.
Oh yeah, and I love it. It's a kick-ass song, and then everybody who complains about it being a cover is like, okay, fair enough, yeah, but it's.
I never knew who Trust was until I heard this.
No, we
I had
didn't
no
have,
idea what
we
this
didn't
band
have
was.
iTunes or the internet back then where we could figure out. I didn't know who the hell it was. I didn't. I thought it was their song, and I mean, it
So did I. Yeah.
kicks ass, and I love it. And got to see it on this tour. So glad they played it, and I don't care. I love it, and there's nothing for me. There's nothing wrong with it, and I absolutely think it kicks ass. They make it their own. They create an amazing. And I think that's just they pick such a good cover too. That's the big thing. It's one thing to cover. I don't know, Elton John. We're talking about Elton John, so I got that stuck in my head. Can you feel the love? If they did that, I'd be pissed. But instead, they do like an unknown song, pretty much, and they make it their own. Nothing wrong with that.
And they do a French version of the song too.
Yes,
Which is, I think is amazing. And they also invited Bernie
from on this.
Saying, it's it's actually on this album. It's on the
disc 2.
Yeah, which is great. Which I think is great. But so sorry, Jason. What do you think? Is this a song that you dig or?
I fucking love it. No, okay, I love it. Okay, so I just want to set it up here. Like, is this the first time they did a cover song?
No, they did Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath before.
Yes.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if anything, Anthrax is the one thrash band that does covers incredibly well. I'm not a bit. I like Got the Time as a cover. I think they do a good job. I just don't like it in Persistence. I think it ruins kind of the experience for me. I like the song. I just wish it was not on that album. But then we have like Anthems, right? Released in 2013, where they cover Anthem, Rush, TNT, AC/DC, Smokin' by Boston, Keep on Running by Journey, Big Eyes by Cheap Trick,
Parasite?
and Jailbreak by Thin Lizzy. Oh yeah, and Parasite. I mean, if one band knows how to do covers, one thrash band, it's this band. And like you said, Jim, I didn't even know this was a cover. I just remember seeing the video and being like, holy fuck, this song is incredible. Had no idea who was it again? Who does this originally?
Trust.
Yeah, no idea who they were. It just sounds like an Anthrax song. Yeah. It's so good that, again, most people think it's their song. I think the success of Antisocial maybe changed the game for Anthrax somewhat, because it proved that they could deliver, massive stadium-sized anthems completely without losing their heaviness. Like, it just rings Anthrax. It's heavy. It's got breakdowns. It's got a stomp to it. And I think it maybe, if you look at how much it was spun on MTV's Headbangers Ball, which I watched every weekend back then, they played it all the time. And I believe it also made like daytime MTV rotation, which is unheard of for metal back then. I think they became a bit of a household name. I think more so with the Married with Children appearance, but I think this song really kind of broke Anthrax as far as like, maybe, your uncle or your dad knowing who Anthrax is, as opposed to all your friends who know Anthrax is. It might have been that one song. Just a lot of crossover appeal. And sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add to what you're saying. Yeah. So, like, the song, I think covering the song makes sense because it fits. The lyrics of this song fits so much into the whole overall package of the album, because the song like critiques materialism and social inequities and all that. So I mean, I think it's a perfect song for them to cover based on what we just have heard with the first 3 songs, and you get to this. So I don't think it's out of place at all. I think it makes sense. Now, maybe when they did Got the Time, it was a little out of place. Like I think it's a great song, but I can understand why people like yourself and Jim think it's out of place, because it's a hard-hitting album with some very serious topics, and then you get like, okay, I Got the Time. But
it might have been better at the end of the album just to not...
Might have been, or maybe
not
just
disrupt the flow of the album, because
B-side, maybe.
Because I think it just disrupts the flow of that album. That's all.
Right,
that's my only.
Right. I think it was included because it sort of meant the time angle, like the persistence of time.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of why I think they included it. I could be wrong, but that's where I was.
So they're smart in their choices, though. Like you said, this cover fits well with the theme of this album, and Got the Time fit well with Persistence.
Yeah, lyrically it does. That's why for me it's I totally dig this song. I like the song. I have no problems with the song either. It's I had no idea. I had to learn that down the road when I heard the song. Oh, it's not Anthrax, it's someone else. What?
I like what they did with Sound of White Noise, though. When you bought it at Sam the Record Man, you got the CD single of Cowboy Song with Anthrax singing Thin Lizzy.
You did.
I love that, because for me, being a collector, I love the fact I have it. But besides that, it wasn't on the album. Maybe on the redo of the album, the reissue. But I know back then it was a separate CD single you got. I still have it, and I love it. I think it's awesome. I think that you're right there, and I love the fact, again, got the time, not fan of it, but got to see it live. Like when I go see an Anthrax show, if I see an Anthrax show every year, I want to see it played. I don't care. I want to see it played. It gets the crowd riled up. Gets me like, oh yeah, this is cool, and that's what it's all about. It's all about creating that
I
joint
agree.
with the yeah with the fans. You got to get the fans into it, and songs like this get everybody going. I mean, yeah, I love AIR. I would have loved for them to play Medusa. That's for me, but I mean, the young guys who know all the covers and that are out there just banging their heads against it. I think it's great.
Yeah, I can see that. So track number 5, "Who Cares," wins. Probably the most socially conscious lyrics on this whole album in my mind. Tackling the homelessness. A song I really like. What do you think of it, Jason? I'd like to hear what your thoughts on it.
Yeah, it makes sense that it's the most serious of the song because it is the longest of songs, over
true.
7 minutes. I think this is probably one of Anthrax's longest songs up to this point. It's basically just an epic centerpiece of the album, and I think it's perfectly positioned after Antisocial because we get back into the more
What they're trying
serious
to
stuff.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the most progressive song in Anthrax's catalog up to this point. I think it's probably or maybe inspired the direction of Persistence of Time, or maybe if Charlie is the songwriter and he was writing this, maybe this is the one song that was the blueprint for Persistence, because I think it's dark and brooding and has just the vibe that we got, full on Persistence of Time. We're getting a little bit of that here, more than a little bit. I love the acoustic guitar introduction.
The video
For
exposes
this?
all of it. Yeah, the video is really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I don't know if
Was the
you
video
watched.
7 minutes?
Oh, yeah, I think so. But
Was
Yeah.
it? Okay. Yeah, I love the acoustic intro. It kind of seamlessly shifts into that dark, odd time signature riff, and the bridge has tons of tasteful melodic lead phrases that
yeah,
became a signature for Danny on Persistence. So not only do we have the what am I trying to say here? This is definitely Persistence, 100%, and I love this
yeah, I can
track.
see that. Yeah,
I think it's a bit of Metallica or Anthrax's answer to "And Justice for All." Tracks like "One" or "To Live Is to Die," because it utilizes the same formula of clean, melancholic acoustic layering before dropping into some more progressive thrashing type marches. This song does that too. I just love Anthrax when they're really progressive. I would love to hear them go fully progressive, like they did, with Persistence. But even more, I don't know. I think they got Joey. He can do it.
well, he does it
And
here. This is his best.
yeah,
For me, this is the best vocal performance from him in my mind on this song. I love it.
up to this point,
Yeah, I love this song.
yeah,
I just love his passion, the way he enunciates the words, and just the way I just the way the whole song is structured and handled. It's great. Living in a box, I love it. At least when I go on the subway, at least I get a subway seat. It's got some hard hitting lyrics, but I think it's great. But we'll
yeah.
move over to you, Jim. Let's hear what you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys hit it. I love how it's got that really ominous intro, and then
Yeah,
at 1:30, sort of the chug, really more of a thrash chug cuts in. So I really like that. It's definitely got a big earworm to it. I mean, yeah, that's got a great chorus, massive guitar solo. I think it's really, really good. Again, for me, it's 5 for 5 on this album, and it just keeps going. I mean, I think this is a great track.
well, Charlie's also said that, and I've read this before, that they were as a band, they were very much aware of the growing homelessness problem in the United States, because apparently Los Angeles, Portland was a big city for this problem, New York, it was happening, so they were aware of it. And if you watch the video, they do have some really poignant scenes of homelessness in New York. So it's I get it. understand the point of the track. I think it's great. Like, what thrash band was singing about this kind of stuff? Not many. I wouldn't.
No,
So it's kind of unique in a lot of ways. But
absolutely.
good song. Now, my favorite song on this album, of course, is "Now It's Dark," and me being a cinephile and loving movies, like I love David Lynch's Blue Velvet. I think I saw that in the theater. First time
Is
I
that
seen
what this
David
is
Lynch.
about?
Yes, it's based on David Lynch's Blue Velvet. So they
Huh.
decided to write a song around Frank Booth, who's played by Dennis Hopper in the movie, who's like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
freaking psychopath. So what they wanted to do with the song, and I know they, psychologically speaking, they wanted lyrics that sort of talked about Frank, but also sort of touch upon the idea that everyone can be a psychopath, no matter. Everyone has that psychology built into
Has that
them.
in them? Yeah.
Yes, yes, but it's great. I mean, they capture the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, give the movie a watch because
No, I
it's.
love the movie. I had no
I
idea
me
that's
too.
what
It's
this
one
was
of my
about.
favorite David Lynch movies, next to Wild at
Huh.
Heart. But I love it because it's because don't you fucking look at me? It's like that's what he says in the movie. Like they practically built the character around that the song, anyways.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's one of my favorites. So I take it you're in agreement. You like the song as well, Jason?
Yeah, I love the song. I think of all the choruses on this album, this is the one that
Yeah,
always repeats in my head. If I'm walking down the street and think of this album, it's this chorus. Now it's dark. Don't
yeah.
you see? Don't you
Don't you
fucking
fucking look
look
at me?
at me? It's just a fantastic chorus. I don't know. I think it also has a really fucking awesome stomping breakdown section halfway through the track, which has a total Megadeth vibe to it. In fact, the guitar work in this really kind of reminds me of early Megadeth, as well as maybe a bit of Flotsam and Jetsam, kind of Place for Disgrace. I don't know why, but when I was listening to this album over the last 24 hours, listened to it like 5 or 6 times. I'm like, what does this sound like? And then I put on P-Cells, and I heard a lot of the same type of riffing. You don't really get that type of riffing, that really kind of quick. Well, you do with Anthrax, but I don't know what it is. There's something about this song that just reminds me of Megadeth. It's maybe something about the phrasing. It's very technical, paired with kind of like this. Where it's different is it has this like dark cinematic, kind of vibe to it, which makes sense because of the source material, which I didn't know before you mentioned it. So, yeah, and I think Joey has a lot of his melodic range is really cool here, and it's very kind of theatrical, especially in the chorus. Again, which makes sense based on the concept, the lyrical concept. So, just love it.
Well, from what I've heard, Charlie was the one that told Scott, "You got when you're going to write the song, you got to write about Booth," saying that everybody's Frank Booth, and that there's a bit of psycho in everybody. So it's kind of a cool idea for a song.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, Jim, we didn't want to leave you out of this. We got to get your thoughts, bud. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have completed it pretty much. I think it's pretty cool. I didn't know that either. I think it's, I think is there a vocal effect on the chorus? Because it's kind of sounds a little bit different to me.
There might be.
But I like
there
it.
is.
I mean, I think it's pretty good. Everything you guys said is spot on. It's a solid song. I like it. But yeah, the intro and that, with that breathing and that, I thought is pretty cool.
Breathing is right from the movie.
Yeah. I kind of when you were saying it, I'm thinking, that's where it is, and then it kind of fades out with that as well, which is kind of neat. It's great effect.
And then he says something. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
like you get the vocal. There's like the breathing,
And then there's a small blurb.
and
Yeah.
I think what he says is don't you let go, or it's not don't you fucking look at me. It's don't you let go.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's saying there, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great song. I love this song. And I like the fact that they decided, move away from Stephen King. Let's go to David Lynch, because David Lynch to me is one of my favorite American filmmakers, and I've seen all his movies, and it's great. You're getting a song about Frank Booth. You can't go wrong with that.
Perfect. It fits the theme too. So of the album.
Exactly, and
So,
you're right.
yeah.
You're right. It does still fit the theme of the album. I think perfect. So Another song that these next two or three songs are my favorites. Like, I love Schism,
Hmm.
and I wanted to preface this by saying when I first heard the song, I had no idea what that word meant. I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, that's what it means." I had no idea what Schism was, but I growing up as a teenager and doing writing and being an artist, I heard that word and like, oh, I love this word. What does it mean? Looked it up and I'm like, now I know what it means. So this is like my little like introduction to or education to words that I had no idea existed, but they did. And
So
schism is
lyrically,
one.
what? Yeah, what's it? What is it about then?
So like the whole point of schism though is that the idea is that hate is learned or like hate is a learned thing. So the song kind of argues the whole point of like racial categories that distort our shared humanity. So like you get the idea that everything's in a schism. Like it's easy to hate people. We're in a division. Schism is the division that we're in. And it's a very relevant song because it still relates to today. Like this song, I think, more than anything, relates to what's going on in the world today because we're kind of in a schism of these race wars and all these stupid arguments where we're having politically now relates to the song.
Hmm.
So I think it's a great song for me, and I love just the way it's sang all the way through, the way that Joey sings the ska schism. I love it. It's just he's telegraphing a little bit here, right? But I think it's great. I love this song. What do you think, Jason?
I think it's a odd song. It's a mind fuck,
You think it's an odd
which I,
song? Okay.
and not in a bad way. I think it's just quite a bit different from the other songs that we've had this thus far.
Right.
Uh, like as a mind fuck, I think that was the intent here because of the theme of the album. Just lots of really cool lightning fast riffing. Some of Charlie's most aggressive playing on this. I think at one point he's almost bordering on a blast beat in some parts.
Hmm.
The drum intro,
Everyone talks about James being the king of the down pick, but fucking Scott on this song, holy shit, man. He rivals James, I think, on the down pick. He's a beast on the song. I think Joey sounds like a mental patient. The
yeah.
song is even more psychotic than Madhouse, perhaps, what you were saying there, Ken, about his vocals. I don't know. I think it has maybe a bit of a New York hardcore kind of sound to it, more New York sounding to me than anything thus far. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just a song that's, you could say that this album has a bit of kind of commercial polish to it in parts, but this song absolutely not. This song is a perfect, I think, raw kind of
It's
mindfuck
punky.
of a
I think
song.
it's very punky. Jim,
Yeah, yeah, it
you think it's
is.
punky as well?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I get kind of a bit of a maybe an early biohazard feel to it
Oh, okay. Yeah.
to some degree, but I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I think it's a great song. It does. It's not one of the ones I think would highlight the album in the sense of like for the casual fan, but I think it's a pretty strong song on its own. The guitar solo in it is amazing, and the guitar work, as Jason said, is just fantastic. And Joey's vocals on this are great too. He's kind of just going for it, and I think that's no, that's pretty. It's a great. But yes, definitely a definite punk vibe for me, and I agree with Jason with it being more of a hardcore vibe as well.
Yeah, I think the way that he even attacks like the vocal delivery, schism, ska, like it's just the
Yeah.
way he handles it. It's like it's odd. It's odd, like, but I think it's cool because it's something a little different that we haven't heard before.
I
Um,
wonder how much
mhm.
Charlie factors into Joey's phrasings because to me, this is out of Joey's ballpark as far as what he comes from,
True.
and like he nails it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, did he do this on his own, or does he have direction when he's doing this? Because he's a pretty versatile vocalist. If this was him, you know, deciding the phrasing of the lyrics, because it is a bit wacky and out of his ballpark.
I could see that. They don't really break down the songs per se. I just know that, from my understanding, Charlie writes the majority of the musical parts, and then Scott writes the lyrics. That's
Right.
what I do know. I'm not saying that's. I mean, that's not saying that Frankie doesn't get involved, or Dan's not involved, or even Joey. It's just saying that the main
Yeah.
songwriters is Charlie and Scott. From
If
what,
if it's Joey that does all the phrasing, that's incredible to me because he comes from an AOR world,
Hmm.
I
and
don't think
to
he
be
does.
able,
Man. I think he's directed.
yeah, okay, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think.
it would make sense.
Yeah, I think he's directed because I agree with you. Like he has this like AR, like this arena rock background, like that style. That's his vocal range. So I'm pretty sure with this song he was directed to go into that direction. I
And it's not even, yeah, it's not even like I'm not talking about his actual performance. I'm
right.
just talking about the phrasing itself. Like it's just so odd in this song that it would blow me away if he did that on his own.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. So the next great song for me, and I don't know why they don't play this live. Misery Loves Company, based on the Stephen King novel. Jim, we're gonna go with you first. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean that heavy, cool, repeating riff that intros it off is really really cool, and then it leads into that. I mean, this is a super heavy track. I think it's great, and the chorus. I mean, this is kind of almost anthemic. It's kind of I was shocked to hear that they don't sing it very often or haven't sung it.
Well, they haven't sung it live ever.
Because it's
Huh.
just got that anthemic feel to it, and I think one of my favorite tracks on the album. I love the
Mhm.
massive guitar sound on it. It's great, and I mean we're heading into the end of the album here, and it's still like nothing has really repeated itself, and
No,
we left Schism, and now we're going right into Misery Loves Company. It's a totally different sounding track, more of a thrash track, but oh no, I think it's awesome.
yeah, I would agree. The Stephen King, I love. I like when they go back to Stephen King
Yeah,
as a reference point. Misery is a great novel, and the movie is really cool too.
yeah.
I even like how they even in the song, like the chorus, like "I'm your number one fan." They get that down pat, and it's got the great breakdown. That's just so great. Um, but let's get your thoughts, Jason. What do you think of it as a song?
Yeah, I think this is another stab. Anthrax taking a stab at progressive thrash
Hmm.
in kind of the way Justice for All is. I
Okay,
mean, not to that degree, but especially as it relates to the rhythm guitars on this, they're very, very. Um, there's a very progressive feel to them. Uh, almost Bay Area,
okay,
I think, like maybe a little bit reminiscent of Testament's New Order. It's aggressive. Love Joey's super soaring melodic vocals. Oh, he's fucking amazing on this album. Like, I think this is one of his best albums. I think
oh, I
I'm
agree.
hoping, yeah, yeah. Like, let's hope so. Let's hope we get more of this with the new album.
We'll
Um,
find out.
yeah, I mean, he sounded good on the first track, right?
Yep, yep, no complaints from
And
me.
yeah, I think Scott and Charlie here, like, they use a lot of. You guys familiar with like syncopation? A lot of accenting the offbeats, which is what
Mhm.
gives this the Justice sound because Justice is all about the offbeat, about accenting the offbeats, and this song does that very very well, which gives it a bit of like chaotic charm. Like when you listen to Justice, because of that offbeat, that off kilter thing going on, it feels a little bit chaotic, but it also has a charm to it, and I think this song is also doing the same thing. But then they get back to the Anthrax kind of stomp in the middle of the song,
The
which is
breakdown, yeah,
yeah, the
that
breakdown, which is
kind of a
awesome. So
breakdown. It's yeah.
yeah, it's kind of a breakdown, but it's there. So it's the best of two worlds here. You got like the progressive thrash plus that just that trademark Anthrax stomp. I love the song. You know, it's funny. We haven't complained about one song yet, and we're almost at the end of the album. And this
Well,
album is by far the most maligned album, which is crazy.
okay,
Yeah.
hold that thought because
There's one coming up.
yeah, this is the one I was just gonna say that Jim. Yeah, beat me to it. Yeah, because I don't know. This is the weird part. The one little hiccup in the album that's kind of strange.
Yeah.
So why don't we get to that, Jim? Let me get your thoughts on this because it's.
Yeah, I
You
don't
think it's
quite
a hiccup or not?
hiccup for me. I mean, it doesn't take from the album, but it doesn't add anything. I mean, the album's 52 minutes and 47 seconds. Maybe they had to hit a time length or something, but I mean, it's only, what is it, 49 seconds long.
Oh, it's
Just kind
52
of at
seconds
first,
long.
it's got kind of a cool intro if it was going to be a song, and then it just kind of gets kind of silly.
Well, we don't know what he's saying. Is he
Yeah,
saying heave ho, where's the cake? Or is it deep throat? Because there's people are complaining like what is that little moment? Like
yeah,
heave ho, where's that cake? You don't
yeah.
know. Like it's so weird. What do you think, Jason? You think this is a hiccup as well?
No, not at all. Come on,
No, you
guys.
don't? Okay.
This is just it's just an interlude, I think.
Yeah, it's an
You
interlude. Yeah.
can't even include it in the I wouldn't even include it in the final track list. It's just a basic throwaway song. Not even a
Yeah.
song. It's just a little soundbite. So to me, I don't think it ruins the album at all.
No.
It's just it's a little weird, but I mean Anthrax can be weird. I just don't look at it as a song.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
an
oddly enough,
interlude.
they do consider it a song because apparently I've
What?
read that. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
they consider it like apparently they in their mind the whole even though there's no lyrics like with that little other thing that happens where you don't know what he's saying. The song supposedly is about the brutalities and the psychological trauma of warfare. That's what the official word of the song is, which I'm like, what? I don't hear that and get that, but that's what I've read.
Well, what about the title? What's the
13.
13. Yeah, I couldn't. I was reading up on that. And I couldn't find much on what 13 meant. I'm sure
yeah
some in our comments may know and could illuminate us. But
point us out? Yeah.
I'm kind of stumped on that one.
Hmm.
Kind of stumped on that one. Although this is what I'll say, guys. I think it actually leads perfectly into finale,
Yeah.
finally, whatever they want to call it. It leads perfectly. I think it bleeds in really well because it's got that weird little erupt ending, and then it goes right into finale, which I love, which I think is a really great closing song on this album because it's like dum 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 dum, and then it just goes from there, and it just like it picks up, and then you get a traditional thrash song kind of an ending. Jim, what do you think?
Yeah, finale is a good song. I mean, it's a good way to end the album. It's finale, so why the hell, at least in your mind, you're thinking, okay, this is the end. But I think it's pretty cool. It leads, so you got 13 leading into it if it is an intro to some degree. I don't know. I love the echoey kind of riff intro that happens on leading into that really heavy repeating riff, which I love. I mean, it's got a great thrash chug. This has got everything we've talked about in the whole album, where Joey's vocals are really good. It's catchy as hell, and I love that. Hear your mama calling you.
Yeah,
I love
that's a
those
great line.
lyrics.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool.
it's a great line.
I like it. I think it's a great way to end off the album. I'm glad they didn't end off the album with Antisocial. I think it's great where it is, and they didn't throw the cover at the end, which a lot of bands do. So I like how they did this, and. Again, for me, I'm with Jason. I probably wouldn't even count number 9 as a song. So it's pretty much like a 10 out of 10 for me album, just with that. I mean, yeah.
Believe it or not, there's a lot of humor in the song because the whole point of the song is it's the end of a toxic relationship.
Oh, okay.
There is actually some humor in the way that the lyrics are structured. So I like it. So I like it for that reason. But as a thrash song, it's pretty solid. And Jason, you think it's a good closing song for the album?
I dislike the first half of the song vehemently. I love the second half of the song. So let me explain. The first half of the song, it's too bluesy, man. It reminds me of Load and Reload, especially with that transition of the bridge where we get that blues-based kind of pentatonic groove riff thing going on. It just has a swing and bounce to it that inherently feels like much more, I don't know, like traditional and radio friendly or Load or Reload. I hate it. I can't stand it. But the second half, there's a lot of heavy moments, towards like almost like the last 30 seconds. It gets really, really, really heavy and just picks up on the thrash again. That's so good on this album. But yeah, if this were 2 songs, they should have just cut the song in half. eliminated the first half, and then we'd have an awesome minute 30 song here to end the album.
Okay. For me, I like the song as a whole. I think it's great. I love how
Do you
it's.
guys, do you guys, do you, the bluesy part? Do you know what I'm talking about in the first
Yeah,
half
no,
of the
I
song?
know exactly what you're saying. I get your point, but I guess I don't know.
It
It didn't
doesn't.
really like. I guess I didn't. It didn't really get to me in a way. Maybe that the way that you're kind of sort of interpreting it. I don't know.
I don't think it's bad. I just think it's out of place on this album. It just.
I could see that. I could kind of see that, but I don't know. I guess for me, I didn't really like.
Yeah.
I didn't go. Oh, there's this bluesy part and it doesn't work. I just it's part of the song for me. But everyone interprets a song
Maybe
differently.
that's what I kind of classified in my layman's term as that echoey riff. You know, it's got kind of that sound to it. But yeah, I don't mind
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah,
Reload, Jim. You're
yeah.
gonna hate
Oh
it now.
God, no.
Well, before Reload was a thing, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe Metallica got it from Anthrax. You don't know.
Who knows?
But
But yeah,
either way,
banger of an album, right?
yeah,
yeah.
Holy crap.
it's a great album. It's a lot different than Among, but it's still pretty. I don't know. I like it for me personally. I
Same
think
here.
it's a worthy follow up, and I know
But
Jim.
can you guys say that you love Among every single track as much as you're saying you love every single track on this album?
I can
I
Yeah.
can,
I can because
except for the blurb, but that doesn't matter.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
I like every song on Among. There's no weak songs for me. Every
no,
So there's three of us pretty much
yeah
agreeing that this album is fantastic.
yeah.
Why does it get the hate it does?
I think it's just the image.
Yeah. So let's dovetail on that question. So before we get to that question, I just wanted to we'll finish off with this our last two segments, like the musical
Oh yeah.
recommendations, before we
Yeah.
get to the end. So I just wanted to ask you guys: is there a song on this album that you think would still slot in nicely on Among?
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, go for it, Jim.
I think Out of Sight, Out of Mind. I think Who
Okay.
Cares wins. I think there's a couple on here. I think it's the production on this album is miles ahead of Among the Living, and I think maybe people might have that feel that it's a bit more polished, even though those songs are pretty raw, but they're just better. It's years later, so
Right.
everything got better, and they got better. So I think that's it. I mean, I love Among the Living. I love every song on that. But I find there's more repetition on Among than there is on this, and but I love that. I mean, my favorite song is probably "I Am the Law" off of this. I mean, I
Mhm.
love Antisocial, but I probably go with even "Who Cares Wins," even "Make Me Laugh." "Be All End All" is a wicked song. But I mean, I think it's a great Carry On album. I like this better than Persistence of Time, and
No, that's cool. I mean, everyone's got like a different
the only reason
feel
why
for an album.
I rated Persistence is I really don't like the cover on that, but I love it live. It has to be played live, and it's weird, but it's just I think it was a bit of a for me compared to Antisocial. It felt like maybe it was a bit of a cop out. Like it went in with that whole time, the
Mhm.
whole time sort of element of the album, and I don't know. They did make it their own, and I love it live. So maybe I'm just talking in circles, but I think this is just a better album for me overall. But I mean, Among the Living, I love it. I mean, that's oh man,
Okay. Jason, how about you? Is there a song on this album that you think would fit nicely on Among?
I think Schism
Okay,
because of
Schism, yeah,
the
that's a good choice.
yeah. I think the as Jim was talking about, the hardcore punk energy of that song kind of really reflects what I think Among is. It's not a punk album, but it's a punkier album,
Mhm.
Yes.
thrash punk
Yes.
album compared to this one, which is more progressive. I think Schism would have fit really nicely.
you
Okay,
know,
cool.
on Among you've got NFL, and that is
Yes.
definitely a massive crossover song. I mean, the
Oh yeah,
whole
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah, like it's just so cool. It has sort of the easy chant, the sound. I mean, it's a metal song and it's a thrash song, but it is definitely got that massive crossover vibe. Yeah.
Good.
what do you
That's a
think,
good one.
Ken?
Mine is Now It's Dark.
Yeah.
That's the one I chose, and I choose it maybe more so because of the fact that I like the subject matter. It's based on a movie, and they liked in their earlier stuff. They did a lot of the songs like that. So I think it would fit. I think it has a nice punk attitude. Don't you fucking look at me. I think it works. I think it would
Yeah,
work
yeah.
perfectly on Among in my mind. But like you said, there's at least three or four songs that could fit on Among. I
But
think.
you know what? I also think like maybe Belly of the Beast could fit on Among for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Persistence,
I could see that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I could see that as well. There's a few. I mean, Persistence gets a lot heavier than what you got on
yeah.
this album. They go back to more of the traditional
Right.
breakdown chug on Persistence. Here
Yep.
they don't do it as much. They kind of abandoned it. Well, not abandoned it. They just don't rely on it as much. They do it sparingly. But when you go back to Persistence, you get the breakdown and the chug, and they do a lot of that in that, like blood, time, just keeping the family. Oh, those first three songs or the first four songs are just absolutely killer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a good one. All right, so we'll close off with the parting shot, and now we'll go back to we'll discuss the Bermuda Shorts angle, and it doesn't even have to relate to Anthrax. It could be any thrash band. Like, but what do you guys think of the idea of wearing Bermuda shorts? Is it a good look or a bad look? Jason, we're gonna go to you.
I guess it depends on what you think thrash metal is supposed to represent at that time. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're in the camp of like skin tight jeans and high top sneakers, but I think Anthrax, the cool thing about them is we talked about it a bit earlier, but they've always been a counter to the culture. And for them, I think it just represented authenticity, which I totally respect, and it's what I respect about Anthrax to this day. I mean, shorts don't make thrash bands. The
No,
music does. It's the
no.
music. So anyone who spends time bitching about it clearly has their priorities in the wrong place, and obviously has never played live on a stage. Those fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pajama shorts probably feel really good. A lot of air on your
Oh
balls,
my God, yeah, you'd be
and
dying, you'd be sweating to death on stage, all the lights and everything around you,
yeah.
and shit.
So the shorts are a good thing. You get a bit of
I
air.
don't know.
So that could be one of the reasons. I don't know, but I think it worked for them. Could Metallica do it? No. Could
No, I
Exodus
wouldn't
do
work
it?
for them.
Exodus probably did it. I
I
can't
think they
remember.
could. I think they could.
Yeah. Could Slayer do it?
No.
No. Oh
Maybe
no.
Jeff. Maybe Jeff. But he's more about the jerseys and black
Yeah.
shorts.
Well, Carrie wore
Yeah.
the camouflage. She
Yeah.
liked the
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of thing,
Yeah.
which would.
So yeah, if anyone can pull it off, it's Anthrax, and it was a phase because I don't think they do it anymore, right?
No, 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 no,
No,
no, not anymore. But yeah,
it was just and I don't think I don't. It's probably they don't do it because they got flack for it. It's more, it was just the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? They did it because of the era, and those shorts were big in that era, and maybe they were bigger in New York. Maybe it was a fashion statement in New York. Who knows?
well, it's. Sorry, Jim. We'll get you in a sec.
Yeah, no worries.
I was just going to add on to that. The funny thing about this album, though, is that they don't like this album. They don't talk about it in high regards. Now, maybe what you said, Jason, earlier about the progressive side is what they don't like, because obviously Persistence has gone back to what Among is to me. I always thought that Among and Persistence are very much like brother and sister to me. Um,
Where I talked about Persistence being more progressive, it's
yeah.
not necessarily the songwriting. It's
Mm,
more the technicality and their skill level just fucking went through the roof, which to
true.
me gives it a bit of a progressive vibe because now
Right.
they're just really proficient musicians, and you can hear it on that album.
Well, you hear it
Um,
on this album for sure, right? Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
kind of, like you said, you're bang on with it. Like this is, I mean, obviously it's a bit of a different direction, but you know. But sorry, let's we derailed the conversation. Let's go back to Jim.
Yeah.
Jim, let's get your thoughts on the whole.
Well, I got a story.
I know you're talking
Oh
about it,
shit!
but go for it.
So my
He's
story
wearing the
is
shorts right now, isn't he?
no. Well, I'm in shorts right now, but they're black. But that's just because, yeah. It's hilarious though. When I was a kid, so me and my buddy, my best buddy Dean, growing up in Lawrencetown, we grew up close to Lawrencetown Beach, the known beach in Nova Scotia. So, anyways, we go there. It's 30-degree weather. My other friends are all surfers down there surfing because it's a surfing beach. So, anyways, we show up. We walk down there carrying a great big ghetto blaster, blasting Metallica, whatever. We're talking. This is about '87. Dressed in black jeans, high tops, a muscle shirt, jean jacket with all our battle vest stuff on it, chains. My buddy had sewn chains on his. We had our heavy metal studded wristbands. Yeah, and we're walking on the beach in the. My buddy surfing. He comes over and goes, "You two look like fucking idiots." And we're our balls off, and we're like, "Oh man, this is." And everybody on the beach is wearing bathing suits and with their towels and stuff. We're walking down by the water, just looking like a couple of degenerates. Long hair. My buddy had his mother would get him a perm. Long hair. We look like maybe. I just picture us. I mean, we weren't as well dressed as like two Nikki Sixes walking down the friggin' beach, and this is in like 30-degree weather. Took our jackets off. We got I think I had a Ride the Lightning muscle shirt, and just like yeah, and just hilarious. So my buddy's surfing. He comes over. He's a metalhead too, and he's like, "You guys look like idiots." Like, what? Man, we're flying the flag. It's metal.
Yeah, we're wearing the colors.
Yeah. And I remember walking back home going, "Oh man, are you as hot as I am? It's freaking sweating in this stuff." It was hilarious.
That was every summer for me in the late '80s. Absolutely.
Yeah, I could relate to that.
And I remember thinking to myself when I saw Anthrax, I think it's a cool look. I think it's pretty fun. I can see how people who are like the way I was going to the beach like that would maybe reject but I think it's kind of, I live in shorts now, black shorts, camo shorts. Those are the metal, and just because I'm too lazy to put pants on, and I have to put pants on. I mean, the middle of winter, I'm wearing shorts in the house, wearing slides, Adidas flip-flops. I mean, that's what I wear. I mean, it'll be November, and I'll be fighting not to put on freaking pants,
Pants are uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I need, You
need to breathe.
That's right.
You get older in
life.
You
got boys to take care of.
Yeah. So, but I mean, when we were kids, I can't believe I was only able to have kids later in life because I think I would have smothered those off.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Now, Ken, does Anthrax ever talk about that phase and dressing like that?
No, they don't. It's almost like from what I've over the years, they kind of disown this album, which is kind of a shame because I think it's a really good album. I love it. I think it's a fantastic album, but they don't. It's one of those albums, like I mentioned, like they don't play any songs from it, and they don't.
Well, didn't they feel like they were rushed?
Yeah, there's a bit of that. That's a good point that you're bringing up. Because when Among ended, they wanted them to go back into the studio right away to record. So there is a thought, at least from what I've read, that they did rush this, that they were rushing it to get it done, to get it out there. But I don't know. I agree with you, Jason. I like the fact that it's got a bit of a different edge that you don't get in Among or like Spraying the Disease. You go back to something a bit more progressive. It works for me. I would agree with you. And I'm glad we had you on because from a musician's point of view, you're pointing out things that I may have not would see either, like Jim. So I mean, it's good to get your perspective and your take on some of the music. But it is different.
It is. I think it's a better album than Stomp or Volume 8. Would you guys agree with that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's two of
the which are the other two maligned albums, right?
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's "We've Come for You All," which I think is the album that it's not even. It's just a metal album. There's no thrash. There's no frills. There's no nothing. It's not good.
You hate that one?
I don't hate it. I actually don't mind the album. I'm just saying, like, if you want them to go back to thrash, there's no thrashing. It's just strictly like a kind of a metal hard rock album. To me, it's just a bland, generic album.
In Stomp and We Come For You are Stomp, the two albums that you said, Jason, I think there's one good album in there. If you were to like combine the top songs off of both,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's a
agree.
good point. Yeah, because those albums do have some good songs. They're just
Yeah,
not
Stomp and Volume.
fantastic.
I think
Yeah,
there's a good album in there. It's just
yeah,
a lot of filler. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, as I said, the trouble with the modern Anthrax is that they never had a lead. Once Danny left, they couldn't replace
Yeah.
Danny. I mean, yeah, they like I said, they brought in Paul Crook. He helped them out. He played on it. They brought in Dimebag Darrell to play, but they never had a bona fide lead player.
yeah.
That was not until recent times, but that struggled. So they went kind of more as a foursome, and then they brought in Paul to do like some of the solos and stuff like that, which he did. And I think
Yeah.
Dime did a bunch of the solos too. They called him for that. So it's very evident that that whole era of Anthrax is not. It's so
Cable.
right, and it's
Yeah.
misaligned, right? Like it just doesn't make sense. Like you don't got to lead. You're basically relying on Scott to kind of play lead, even though he's a rhythm guitarist. So you got two guitarists and not three for the most part. I mean,
Yeah.
I liked Paul. I thought Paul Crook was actually a pretty decent guitar player. He was actually a tech, so he basically kind of stepped up to play with them, but they never actually hired him on as like a guitar player. But he was there in the
Right.
background helping them out. But
Right.
it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's an era that everyone wants to forget. Nobody wants to go back to that era. You want to forget about it.
Out of sight, out of mind.
There you go.
Good one. Good one. That's
Yeah.
perfect. So I guess we're coming to the end of the pod. Again, it's a great album. That's all I'm going to say. I already know my thoughts on it, and I know you guys both like it as well. So next week, I know we have the Slayer that just went up. You can watch that in our news feed and stuff. Next week, and I'm putting you on the spot again, Jason. It's Onslaught. If you want to do it, it's yours. You mentioned it.
Absolutely. We're doing
Okay.
it. Yep.
Great.
We're not going to reveal which album, but we'll.
No. We won't. We
Yeah.
won't reveal that. But yep. So you can take the lead. You can take the reins on that one,
Awesome.
and we'll do the Onslaught one. So we're gonna get away from Anthrax for a little bit because we did a lot of it in the last month.
Does it? This one, does
Jam-packed.
it close out the month, or you still have
Yes.
more?
No, it closes out the month.
Okay. Yeah.
Anthrax. This is gonna go up next week. It'll be the final pod for May, and then in June we'll start fresh, and we'll start with Onslaught.
Awesome.
And I think Jimmy and I were talking about Obituary, maybe doing
Yeah.
that.
With Phil, maybe.
Phil wants to, yeah, because Phil wants to do that. So we've talked about that, which would be a little bit of it, something different, a little
Yeah.
bit different.
Yeah.
But
You're
I like
running out
it.
of thrash albums, man. Are you?
I know. Well, I don't know if you can ever really run out of thrash albums, but maybe run out of good premiere or like top notch.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to start doing contemporary stuff soon, maybe.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've done that we've dipped our toes into it from time to time.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
our last
yeah.
pod was the new Anthrax song. So, and
Yeah,
then when
yeah.
Anthrax does another single out, we'll do another one on that. Yeah.
Absolutely, two more coming.
You guys should do an episode on just youngsters, contemporary young thrash
Great
bands.
idea.
Like,
Yeah, that's a
not
great
not
idea.
even just
Yeah.
not even just one album, but just like kind of
Yeah,
pick,
bring
you
up
know,
a
five.
small,
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 albums. Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean,
Yeah.
Great.
there's so many young bands who are playing thrash these days. I mean, yeah, it's a,
Like
it's a-
the other day, I was just going through YouTube, and it was just recommending to me young thrash bands I've never heard of, and I'm like, click on it. Holy shit, this is really good. This sounds like Creator, Extreme Aggression. On to the next one. Sounds like fucking Sodom. You know, it's crazy how many bands there are out there.
yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. So thanks for coming on. I appreciate the two of you helping me out with the whole month of Anthrax.
No, it was awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm glad we got a chance to do this one. We'll hopefully, once this goes up, we'll get some feedback and see what people think about it.
Yeah, I'm excited to read comments, see what people think.
Yeah, I mean, Spreading did okay. I mean, it's not, the views aren't super great on it. I don't know what it is. Maybe people aren't connecting to the older material, but I'm assuming from among on, people are more into like the band,
Mhm.
what
Yeah,
they're doing now.
yeah.
You know,
I
what
would
can
hope.
you do, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys,
Cool.
we're going to sign off tonight. I appreciate, thank you for coming on, and we'll get this up going, and hopefully we will be back with another episode.
See you next week.
You got it. All right, guys, take care.
See ya.
Peace out.